In this second edition of Bonnie Sports Insider Continental Drift, we will be flying into the second continent of this series, Africa. I had the opportunity to speak with Bonnie's women's tennis player, Isabella Venter. Halfway into her junior year, Isabella shared how she's adapted from living in the bustling city of Johannesburg, South Africa, to the student-athlete life in the rural community surrounding St. Bonaventure. When did you decide that you wanted to become a tennis player?
Well, I started playing tennis when I was 5. It wasn't anything serious at the start, but eventually I just really started to love the sport, and I started playing school tennis quite a lot. And then at the age of 13, I knew I wanted to play college tennis in America. By age 16, I started playing international tournaments, and I was lucky enough to make the national schools team. And it was just a great way for me to travel, meet new people, and tennis has always been that for me.
Yeah, and some of those tournaments that you participated in when you were like 15 and 16 allowed you to kind of visit the iconic arena in which the Wimbledon tournament takes place. For you as a young player, how did that moment feel for you of just being in the presence of that arena?
I think being at Wimbledon for the first 2 days of the tournament was the most amazing experience, because at that time all the players are still there and you can see them practicing, you can see them playing on all the courts, so it's not just the big courts, you can see all the players on the back courts as well. And it was just amazing being in that atmosphere. And we also had tickets to court 2, so I saw Venus Williams play against Coco Gauff, who's now my favorite tennis player, and it was just amazing to see and just feel what they're going through and how competitive it is.
Yeah, and who were some of those players that you took pictures with?
I took pictures with Caroline Wozniacki and Alexander Zverev. I also got pictures with Kevin Anderson, who's the best player that has ever come from South Africa. So he was really, we had a South African flag, and he was really happy to see us. So that was also really cool.
You're a junior here at St. Bonaventure University. I wanted to ask, what kind of brought you to the U.S. and really just mainly St. Bonaventure as well?
College tennis is very big in America, and I think as a competitive tennis player coming from South Africa, college tennis is just a great opportunity to keep playing competitive tennis and also getting a degree while being here. I chose St. Bonaventure because of the competitive conference that it's in and all the good schools that we get to play.
And for any player, challenges are bound to happen. For you, coming from South Africa, what were some of the challenges that you have encountered?
I think the biggest challenge was adapting to the culture. It was definitely harder than I expected it to be. I'm definitely settled now. I've made amazing friends that helped with the transition. But yes, I think adapting to the culture and the small town was a bit difficult at the start.
Talking to your parents can be such a challenge because of the time zones. How did you overcome that?
Yes, it's just about planning, because by the time I wake up, they've already had most of their day, so it's hard to find a time, especially because both of our schedules are really busy, to find a time that works. But it's just about, setting aside an hour once a week to just have some good quality time over a video call or something like that.
So Isabella, this whole tennis team is filled with international players. 12 out of the 15 play from outside the US. I wanted to ask, how have you been able to kind of connect with your teammates, and how have they kind of been also helping you just kind of adapt to the community here and also play tennis as well?
I think it's amazing that I have the opportunity to play with people from so many different countries. It's been really great getting to know them, getting to know their cultures, and going through the same thing. We all international students adapting to life in America, and it's been really helpful having them going through the same thing. We can relate to things, support each other. It's honestly been a great experience.
Yeah, and last season you finished in doubles with a 10-3 record and 3-4 record in singles. What are your aspirations for yourself and for your team for this coming spring season?
We've been playing really strong doubles as a team the last few months and last year. So I would really like us to get our singles to that level as well, because I know we can. We have a tough schedule this coming season, but it's a great opportunity to play against good players and get better.
My final question for today, and I'll plan to ask this to all players, Where do you see yourself after St. Bonaventure?
After St. Bonaventure, I would really like to do my postgrad at London School of Economics. That's a dream of mine. Or work for a year here or wherever there's an opportunity. And then eventually I'd like to go back home.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for this interview. I appreciate it. What we do with every Bonnie's players, international Bonnie's players here, just get the signature of any piece of equipment from their sport. Do you mind signing the ball real quick for this?
Sure.